Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, the Grammys. If you haven't heard about like their lists and nominees and all of the controversies that have been going on, well, you're about to be informed.
Yes, you're about to be informed, just as we're about to be informed, because this happens every year around this time. And because we are seasoned here on Audioface, and we're about to do what I believe is the 4th annual Audioface Awards later this year, which folks should check out everywhere we are, on the podcast platforms, etc. It's up there for a reason. We know that the Grammys are going to do this announcement, and every year it just gets progressively worse.
Worse and worse, yeah. I mean, we have the issues with categories and people that shouldn't belong in certain categories and people who get snubbed at Grammys and, you know, so on and so forth. I mean, there's just a plethora of shit that goes on, and there's one thing that Dan showed me this year that really pissed me off, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, I really like doing this podcast. There are times where it's like harder than others, but it's like I really like doing this podcast. That was one sentence I read where I really questioned like what the hell we were even doing.
Yeah,
but more on that.
Yes. Put a pin on that. We'll get to it later.
Yes. So the Grammy nominations, it's not like all bad. And usually, you know, some artists get it, but like, you know, many artists don't. So album of the year, we have Jeannie Aiko's Chilombo, Black Puma's Self-Titled, Coldplay's Everyday Life, which we noticed it came out like a little bit on the edge of like that Grammy qualifying period.
It was like over a year ago, so.
Yeah. Jacob Collier, Yes, Volume 3, Haim's Woman in Music Part 3, Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia, Post Malone's Hollywood's Burning, and Taylor Swift's Folklore. I have a range of opinions about many of those albums. Some of those we haven't listened to, or at least on this podcast we haven't reviewed.
Pretty much all of those we have, except I think maybe Post Malone's.
No, I think we listened to Post Malone's as maybe as like a so you don't have to. And I know we didn't do the Jacob Collier.
And we did. All the rest we definitely reviewed on here. And
yeah,
I could say Haim is fine. Woman in Music Part 3 is fantastic.
Chilombo was really
and
good.
Chilombo was amazing as well. Folklore is okay. I mean, we get our review and we liked it, but it's not worthy of album of the year, in my opinion. Maybe one of her songs is, but we'll get to that later. But how in the flying fuck do you not have like you got obviously The Weeknd?
Yeah,
how it
absolutely.
is not as much as we hate / love Fuckboy Abel because he is my guilty pleasure and I shouldn't like his music, but his album this year was incredible.
He proved me wrong.
He proved
I was
Dan
ready
wrong,
to hate it. I was super ready to hate it.
He had one of the first off, Metro Boomin as a producer is like wiped the floor with how good he is, especially the couple of the songs he did with The Weeknd on his album.
Not only in trap, just like in general in the music game. Like
pop.
he is just
He's
truly
incredible. And I mean, Blinding Lights is just an incredible song, and that isn't even on Song of the Year, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyways, you don't have...
I mean, like, Run the Jewels 4?
Yeah.
At least I don't even see it even for a rap nomination. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah,
but
we don't have that.
Pretty...
For like album of the year, you don't have Tame Impala, you don't have Caribou. I mean, you could even put Fleet Foxes as album of the year because that album is amazing. There's so much there that do not deserve it. Coldplay should have been last year because that was a couple of months into the end of last year, and I'm like, okay, that's like, those are like the weird cutoff things that I don't agree with. And anyways, they don't even deserve an album of the year. Like their album was okay, we genuinely liked it, but it was not worthy compared to everybody else.
So it came out almost this time last year, and it's like November, and so that's safely within like the Grammys cutoff point for qualifications, usually like early mid-November. So that's why you get those things occasionally. It's still very much, and like you have to have a cutoff point at a certain time, because like I remember we put 21 Savage's I Am Greater Than I Was on the year later.
Yeah, but that was because it was
late December.
It was like the second to last week of December, I think, was when it came out.
And so cutoffs have to exist for a reason, but the Grammys is really long and it's kind of antiquated.
But the main thing is they don't deserve, like, as much as I like Coldplay, and their album, Everyday Life was okay, it doesn't deserve an album of the year nomination, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyways,
and that's a strong thing coming for you, because like we did a Coldplay bonus episode,
you know how much I listen to them.
They
definitely do not listen to them. There's so much more this year that has come out that has been amazing, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Record of the year is kind of roughly the same. Beyonce's Black Parade, which was fairly good, but like Beyonce, it's kind of just like the default.
You got Billie Eilish, Everything I Want to Do, Make This Stallion.
Really beautiful.
I really, really like that song a lot. You have Meg Thee Stallion, Savage. You have the baby Rockstar. I mean, just insert
Featuring Roddy Ricch.
Insert seppuku here.
Doja Cat's Say So. I mean, like, it was played everywhere back when everywhere existed.
Yeah, I played
so
earlier
like
this year, and
it's a pop
okay.
song.
But,
Sure, yeah.
but again, you snub Blinding Lights. Like, of all songs to snub, that is incredible. And I don't like my pop music that much. That song is ridiculously good. It is insane. Like top down, that is on my list of. I can firmly say that is on my list for songs of the year. 100%.
We have a philosophy around award shows, and like we do one because we exist, and so like sure, but like a lot of bands don't like awards because just like a weird pedestal to put people on. Like how is it to society? It doesn't always make sense. So like I'm completely understanding of that, sure. But if you're gonna do the award show, the Weeknd is just like an obvious miss. There's a bunch more down here that are just like kind of egregious, but there are some things that are like kind of cool. So like Disclosure and K Tronada and Madion all got nominees for Dance Electronic Album. I agree with all of that. There's also Arca and Bauer, which are like sure. Best Rock, and also Tame Impala did get a nominee for Best Rock Song for Lost in Yesterday, and Fiona Apple did for Shamika, which I think is also a really good choice. Alternative, both of them got nominated. Beck with Hyperspace, another like really long game one. Phoebe Bridges, Punisher. So like there's some decent ones.
Phoebe Bridges is solid. They also do not have any gorillas in here.
That's really interesting because like even humans got
a bunch of shit, and humans, we have a lot of problems with that. But Sound Machine, there are some songs in there that are fucking incredible.
That's something that like even with my Gorillaz bias, I hadn't pointed out at first, but like yeah, I'll give it to them. There's definitely something that could have done.
And like the best rap song, rap song is Horrible. You have Lil Baby, The Bigger Picture. You have Roddy Ricch, The Box, Drake featuring Lil Durk, Laugh Now, Cry Later. You have Rockstar, and then you have the Savage remix, which is fine.
There's only 2 or 3 on here that are on the board, and I'll say like Posthumous Pop, like that was like a good song. Dior was good, it was good. Savage, like you said, maybe Jack Harlow.
But you have so much rap this year that is fantastic. You don't have any of 21 Savage on here.
Yeah, shout out Freddie Gibbs.
Shout out Freddie Gibbs, obviously.
Yeah, and shout out Jay Electronica. Like we didn't get to go into that album but I'm probably gonna court pack that. It was a really good rap album. Hard. But like it's really, and then Nas's King's Disease, we were like kind of met on. I definitely wouldn't have put that on there, but there's just
it's horrible. Kind of a mess. It's just also, there's so many artists that deserve recognition for this year that do not, and it's horrendous.
Okay, can I get one last thing? Best progressive R&B album.
Oh fucking! What is that? What is that list? Tell me.
What the fuck is? Okay, I'm gonna center myself and slow down. So the nominations are fine. I hate the name. I really despise the name with every fiber of my being. But Chilombo, Chloe and Halle's Ungodly Hour, very good. Free Nationals, Robert Grasper, Fuck Your Feelings. That's fine. But like
Thundercat, it is where it is. That's all right.
There's definitely a number of people that could have, like, again, this genre makes no sense. But like, I even would have put Oasis Nocturno by Talking Monster somewhere around here. Like, okay, again, we do the award show for a reason. Folks can check that out. In December.
Yeah, like, some stuff from Little Dragon can also definitely be nominated as well, and I don't see anything with them. And there's a lot that they're just horrible.
Yeah, and so like that's our like live hot takes about the Grammys list.
And this is why you should go to the Audioface Awards, because it's the only award show that matters.
Only award show that matters. Later this year. Also, we're I do want to note here before we go into some of the other Grammys related news that we'll post in other clips on the YouTube channel. That we do award shows differently. We do our award shows at the end of the year, so we can get almost as much of the music as we can, obviously with some exceptions. What is the other thing? Yes, and we have a court packing episode that we're going to do in a couple of weeks from now. So from now and then, send us what albums that you like that have come out this year, whether they've come out, like the last 2 weeks of 2019, but otherwise this year. And then it can be through our Twitter page at Audioface Pod. It can be through our Instagram at Audioface Pod. Comment on this video. That would be really cool. Tell us what albums you really like. Reaffirm what we've reviewed. Tell us some things that we've missed. That's what the court packing episode is for, because the main rule with the Audioface Awards is we have to have mentioned the thing we were giving an award to on the podcast at some point during the previous season or year, as it were. So the court packing episode is the last opportunity to do that before the last Audioface award show. And even though we have cut it very close at times, for rare exceptional reasons, that's pretty much the rule.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you reach out to us and do that.